Welcome to Behind the Bookcase. Today, I want to do a quick show and tell of a couple of Lord of the Rings swords that I got. As you guys know, I like Lord of the Rings. I like swords, so obviously I like Lord of the Rings swords a lot. I actually have a video on which Lord of the Rings sword is my favorite, so you can check that out at some point. So I'm always on the lookout for functional Lord of the Rings swords. The United Cutlery ones look really nice. But they're stainless steel. They're rat-tailed tanks in some cases. They're just not super. You can't go do anything with them, and that makes me sad because they look so beautiful, but you can't actually do anything with them. So I'm always looking for functional versions, and Scorpion Swords and Knives has some that they say are functional. So I decided to get one a while back. It looks nice. Want to talk about it? Decided to get something else. Decided I'd talk about both of them, and just let you know my random thoughts. So here's the first one. This is the Sword of Arwen. There's actually a few different models that you can get. You can get one where it's just wood throughout. I think this is the Arwen number 2. As you can see, there's like a little bit of Elvish on there, and I'm trying not to hit anything in my little bookcase because it's not the biggest. So with the second model, you get this brass end cap scale. It's not really a cap. But yeah, so this is what it looks like. You'll notice that, at least with the ones I have, they all have, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but they all have a pretty stark patina. So, you have like a pretty like shiny steel here, and then it's patinaed on the blade. From the email I got, that was intentional to help preserve it. And I've just left it. I haven't felt the need to polish it or anything like that. So that's this. Now, to give you guys like a quick reminder, I guess, of what Arwen's sword looks like. Here is a quick version. So you guys can see here, they have an end cap that looks like brass. You have some detailing on the handle, some detailing all throughout the blade. Yeah, looks nice. Coming back to the version I have, there are a few differences. One is that Arwen's handle is fully enclosed, the original, where this one is not. You guys can see that it's just scales, and that the scales have been riveted on there. Also, there's no detailing on the handle. It's fine. I don't feel the need to have the handle painted. I think it looks good. Like the color of the wood, everything like that. Now, the other thing, this is one of the notable things about Scorpion Sword and Knives, is that these are overbuilt swords and knives. Like, this thing is thick. So, this is, like, when I first picked it up, it feels like a crowbar, okay? Which I was a little bit sad about because, like, is this thing durable? Yes, absolutely. It also has, it's thickly ground. I guess you could say it's not like a fine edge. You guys could probably even make that out. There's like a big secondary bevel on that. So, yeah, this is going to be super robust. Now, but the thing is I don't know if I can actually call this functional because it's just so stinking heavy. It's like, I don't know when you'd actually ever want to use it. Now, anyways, have I used it regardless? Yes, I have done some test cutting with it, factory sharpened as where it can cut things. It doesn't feel good to swing around. It does not. Now, also, I did stab something. Immediately what happened is my hand just went whoop, like that, right off the handle. And there isn't like really any guard here or anything like that, and it just slips up, right? Now, if you wanted to, you could put your thumb here to help give support, but even still, it still is a little slippery here. Now, I guess thank goodness that nothing here. There's just a big ricasso, and it's not sharp. So, I was fine, but I had this thing poking to me, which is, it didn't feel great, but I was like, okay, I'm fine. And this thing here, it's just, it gives a little bit more to look at, I suppose. It's not actually ground down to an edge. I don't know if it's meant to be. I suppose you could. I don't know why you'd want to have an edge right here, but really, you wouldn't, because there's nothing stopping you for your hand sliding up. So anyways, that's this sword. Just some rambling thoughts about it. Now, I kind of still like the way it looks. I think it's fun. And when it comes to knives, if knives are a little bit like beefier or chunkier, I don't think that's as big an issue. So I decided I wanted to get an Aragorn knife. I didn't want it to be 440 stainless steel, and so I went back to Scorpion Swords and Knives and asked for an Aragorn knife. Now, let's take a look at the Aragorn knife again. Here we are. Okay, so here's his knife. You see a couple with like darker black handles. You see some with like this sort of like rosewood. I think the rosewood looks nicer. Here's the United Cutlery one. So you guys can see that has this little end cap on it. Fully enclosed handle where you don't see the tang. Nice writing on it. There is like a little bit of a swell here, which maybe is gonna assist with traction on it, but like these wood handles get slippery quick. especially when they're super smooth like that. So coming back now to this one, like it doesn't necessarily, like it has some, like it has some dimension to the handle, right? It's, you know, it looks similar. I actually think this handle is like a little bit too big, or you could actually like fit another like half of a hand on here, and my hands are like kind of chunky. So but yeah, and it's like fun. It's overbuilt. You guys can see some of the differences. You still have that patina on there. Maybe you'll be able to see it slightly better on here, the contrast of colors. I think the wood looks nice. This is incredibly slippery though. And so one of the things I asked, because of my experience with the Arwen sword, when I was talking to them, I sent an email. I was like, yo, could we potentially add, like, there's a little thorn on there. Could we actually just integrate that into the handle and make it kind of like a mini guard, so it like prevents your hand from sliding up? Because as you guys notice, Aragorn, like almost always, is using the knife like this. Like he just takes it out, stabs, boom. Now, a couple things about this particular knife. As you guys can see, it is slightly longer than my forearm and elbow. And so typically I find that when knives get past that part, they're kind of unwieldy to hold in this position, especially if you're meant to be holding it back here with your thumb on the grip here. It just, it just doesn't feel great, you know? But it looks cool, and that's kind of what I wanted. And now you won't cut yourself when you stab into something. So that is nice too. So again, big difference is these are scales. This is a chunky boy, and yeah, this could definitely be put through some abuse. Now, I wanted to compare this to both of these. Kind of remind me, if you guys have ever felt like a zombie tools sword or something like that, they kind of feel like that. Now, what I'm going to do is carefully put this down without trying to rock my table here. But these kind of remind me a little bit in like dimension and thickness, like a kukri. So I have a cheap kukri here, and we're just going to put these side by side so you can see. Now, the Aragorn knife is a little bit bigger than the kukri. You can see handle-wise that this is much larger than the kukri handle. And one other thing, kukris, you'll also notice that they do not have guard. But your hand doesn't slip onto the blade when you stab because of this little thing here. It kind of locks your fingers in and prevents you from going anywhere. And this doesn't really have that, so that's why this thing is super necessary. Side note, I actually think that when you're holding it, so this is the right way around. When you hold like this, it actually just, it feels better in the hand. So I kind of wish that the handle was reversed a little bit. I don't know. So this is this kukri. Now, I also wanted to show you, let's put those down momentarily, the Zombie Tools kukri. Again, just for another comparison so you can see, you know, thickness and all that. So here we go. So the Zombie Tools kukri is a little bit more built than this and feels a little bit heavier. But again, smaller handle. And this leather on there just locks your hand in. It's not like slippery at all. And it has 2 retention points on the pinky and on the pointer finger, where this just has 1. But anyways, yeah, these do feel like Zombie Tools, like weapons, in the way that they're built, they're heavy, they're, you know. So anyways, just wanted to share some random thoughts about some random stuff that I had. Yeah. So if you're interested in more random stuff, feel free to come into the bookcase anytime.